The second part of Alchemy of Souls, Light and Shadow, has been a new delight since it's released. We are glad we can finally enjoy the continuation of this wonderful story. The first episode relieved some of our anxiety about the mood of the drama. We are glad that it won't be all dark and gloomy. Episode 2 left us anxious for the third episode as there were more questions to be answered and things that surprised us. That's why I'm going to explain the event of episode 2 of Alchemy of Souls. But first, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell to be among the first to see our content. Thanks. After rescuing Bu-Yeon from a forced marriage, Jang Wook took her home. He made it clear that he just wanted her for her divine powers and nothing more. He tells her to look for another husband if she wants a lovey-dovey husband. Bu-Yeon asks if there was any other reason he might want her for. She asked him this because she doesn't have any divine powers. I'll explain this later in this video. Now, this is surprising but, at the same time, insinuates that Naksu might be the soul in Cho-yeon's body but just can't remember her past yet. But yet, she could see the ice stone in Jang Wook. This could mean that Naksu and Bu-Yeon now coexist in one body. Kyung's secret finally got out when she went to Sungrim to demand that Dang-gu release Bu-Yeon. Because of this, everyone discovered that Jin Bu-Yeon, who they thought dead, had been alive all this time and that she was found 3 years ago. Meanwhile, Bu-Yeon pushes Jang Wook to make their marriage official with a drink. Jang Wook, instead, decided to test her powers by asking her to switch off an enchanted lantern given to him by Ho Kyung. This enchanted lantern never goes off. It seems like only a strong mage can turn it off. Bu-Yeon decided to come clean by admitting that she lost her powers with her memory 3 years ago, and all she could do was see energy with her eyes. Her admission upset Jang Wook because he needed her to remove the ice stone in him, which had become too much for him to handle. Removing the ice stone could end his life, but he doesn't seem to mind. He asked her to return home the following day and say she got lost. Bu-Yeon, desperate, shows him the tracking thread on her wrist and tells him that she likes it here with him and that she would tell the Jinyeon priestesses when they arrive that they got married overnight. She also says that no blade could cut the enchanted thread. With her heart in her eyes, she begs him, saying that she doesn't wish to return to Jinyeon, that she likes it here with him, and that she also likes him. She openly confesses to liking him. This made Jang Wook cut the tracking thread with a kiss but insisted that she go home the following day. Bu-Yeon decides to leave immediately, saying it would be embarrassing to be caught in the daytime. She thanked him for his hospitality and apologized for lying to him. She then tells him that she didn't completely deceive him and that she does have great divine powers, and the person that treated her told her that once she gets her memory back, her powers will return. This was the first time we heard of what happened with her 3 years ago. She also assured him she would not mention his name when she gets home. Then we see an anxious Ho Kyung telling Master Lee that Bu-Yeon had disappeared and asking him if he thinks she regained her memories and powers. This is when Master Lee reveals that the soul in Cho-yeon's body is Naksu. Whoosh! Ho Kyung, in denial, insists that the soul in Cho-yeon's body is Bu-Yeon's, the eldest daughter of the Jin family. This explains a lot. Why she treats Bu-Yeon, her supposed precious daughter, the way she does. Master Lee reinforced my belief by asking her why she confined her all these years and tried to marry her off to carry on the family line. He also asked her what she planned to do to the body once she gave birth to a baby. Get rid of it once again. Now, the story is beginning to take an interesting path. This is when we learn that Master Lee was the one that saved Naksu's life after Ho Kyung rescued her from the bottom of Lake Gyeonggi-ondaeho. We finally understood what happened after Mutiok was rescued from the lake 3 years ago. This is a tricky one. So pay attention to get the intricacy of the whole Naksu and Bu-Yeon saga. Lady Ho-kyung had called Master Lee and begged him to revive Mudeok, hoping she was her daughter Bu-Yeon. Interestingly, Mudeok's body was completely petrified without an ounce of water left by the time she was rescued, but miraculously, she was still alive. We also discovered that Bu-Yeon was the reason Naksu didn't run wild 3 years ago because she inhabited the body of the great priestess. What's more, the question of why Bu-Yeon showed up when Naksu was performing the Alchemy of Souls was finally answered. Naksu didn't choose Bu-Yeon's body with the Alchemy of Souls. Instead, her soul was locked inside Jin Bu-Yeon's body. Master Lee asked Ho-kyung to decide whether to save Naksu and keep Bu-Yeon's body alive through Naksu's soul or keep her daughter's soul and watch her die with Naksu. He explained that Naksu's energy was the one that remained in the body and that Bu-Yeon's soul was barely clinging to Naksu's energy. And to use Naksu's energy, they must get rid of Bu-Yeon's soul while leaving Naksu's. Ho-kyung decided to keep Bu-Yeon's body by saving Naksu. Then Master Lee saved her with his energy. The body, which we will call Cho-young, then recovered using Naksu's energy. This made her resemble Naksu. And for the body not to run wild, her body and soul must be one. This dismayed Ho-kyung as she couldn't imagine looking at her daughter's body with Naksu's features. But Master Lee reminded her that she chose to use all of Naksu's energy to save her daughter's body. Because of this transformation, Cho-yeon lost her memory, and Naksu, whose soul may still remain in the body, lost both her energy and memory. This means that Jin Bu-Yeon died from the events of the last season. Interestingly, Cho-young opens the doors of Jinyewon and sees the energy of the world because a speck of Bu-Yeon still lives in her. This means that Cho-young's body is Bu-Yeon's while her soul is Naksu's. And for the both of them to coexist without conflict, Bu-Yeon's body has no divine powers, and Naksu's soul has no memory. If Bu-Yeon's body regains its powers, Naksu's soul will recall its memory. This is why Ho-kyung locked her up and didn't try to find a solution for her to regain her divine powers. She preferred Bu-Yeon's body to remain powerless than have Naksu's soul regain her memory. Master Lee then suggests that Ho-kyung tell Jang Wook about Cho-yeon and that he will help protect her because he loved Naksu. But Ho-kyung insists that Cho-young will live only as her daughter Bu-Yeon because Jang Wook loved Naksu and not her daughter Bu-Yeon. She swears not to let him find out about her while banking on the fact that Jang Wook doesn't know Naksu's real face. And they would never recognize each other even if they ran into each other. She sees her decision as a price both Jang Wook and Naksu have to pay because she has to live her life looking at Naksu's face instead of Bu-Yeon, her beloved daughter. In the present day, Master Lee tells Ho-kyung that he respected her wish as a mother by keeping silent and not telling anyone about Cho-young. However, the world has finally found out about Bu-Yeon. Ho-kyung insists that the most important thing is that she finds her. Cho-yeon, who is now known as Bu-Yeon, leaves Jang Wook's house for Jinyewon with tears in her eyes after Jang Wook's rejection. On her way, she crosses paths with a grotesque who has been on Jang Wook's tail because of the ice stone in him. She smells his water scent, sees the black energy flowing from him, and decides to follow him. She follows him to Jang Wook's bathing room and offers him her broken tracing thread, a Jinyewon relic with enough power to satisfy the grotesque. But he decided to drag her into the pool of water as she was about to leave, drowning her in it. Jang Wook rescues the unconscious Bu-Yeon from the pool and kills the grotesque. The thing about coming in contact with a grotesque is that it leaves you cold at night. Jang Wook then stays with Bu-Yeon through the night to nurse with strong liquor while lamenting that she is of no use to him, yet she's a nuisance to him. Here, we can deduce that Jang Wook has unknowingly started having fanciful feelings for Bu-Yeon. Dang-gu trying to help Cho-yeon find her missing sister, distributes posters of her given to him by Yoon around the capital with a handsome reward for whoever finds her. From this scene, we discover that Ho-kyung's powers have been declining through the years, and many have been calling for Jin-won to step down from being in charge of the relics and artifacts. The king and queen then rebuke Yoon for not telling them about the marriage between him and the Jin family. The queen, still angry at what was done to her, asks the king to find a way for her to live in another body, to which the king tells her there's no way for that to happen. That he will not let her shift souls because she is the queen. The king then decides that the newly discovered Jin-won heir will be sworn in as the new leader of the unanimous assembly. Jin-moo then found out that Naksu was the one being portrayed as Jin Bu-Yeon. Even Soy, who knew Mutiok was Bu-Yeon, expressed doubt about Cho-yeon being Bu-Yeon. Bu-Yeon then found out from maidservant Kim why Jang Wook needed her divine powers to take out the ice stone because of the evil creatures that follow him. Bu-Yeon decides to bet her life on Seo-yeol and searches for him, thinking he is her betrothed. She finds him and bluntly declares him handsome, but tells him that she has changed her mind after last night. This means that she fell in love with Jang Wook the previous night when he stayed by her side and took care of her. Funnily, Park Jin is still as oblivious as ever. He decides to make the impossible by attempting to make meju with red beans. We all know that evil doesn't turn good overnight, and so is Jin-moo. He informs Ho-kyung about the king's decision to hold a unanimous assembly where Jin Bu-Yeon will be introduced as the heir of Jin-won. What's brazen is how Jin-moo managed to keep his job as the Gwangju of Cheonbugwon after what he and Shaman Choi did to the queen. I find this strange and not well thought out. Ho-kyung convinces a powerless Bu-Yeon to make the trip with her to the unanimous assembly. This time, the slimy mother sewed the enchanted tracing thread into Bu-Yeon's neck to make it difficult to remove. Luckily for Bu-Yeon, Jang Wook notices that the lantern he had asked her to blow out the other day was off. This made Jang Wook interrupt the unanimous meeting. He asks Bu-Yeon to blow out the lantern as she did before. He says he would take her out of there if she blows it out. Bu-Yeon, looking crestfallen, tells him that she can't. Jang Wook turns to leave, but Bu-Yeon grabs his hand and the lantern, thereby blowing it off. This made Jang Wook declare that Bu-Yeon cannot be the new heir of Jin-won. He then claimed her as his wife, saying they got married the previous night, to which Bu-Yeon concurred. Who else could see the evil wheels turning behind Jin-moo's eyes? That man is a schemer. How would you rate this episode? Let me know in the comment down below. If you like our content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, bye.